Pretenses of peace left by the wayside, the Arcadian forces resumed their advance toward Rabenastre. Dalmasca's doom had been decided. To make resistance would serve no end. With this foremost in my thoughts, I to the people of Dalmasca. Sons and daughters of Dalmasca, I bid you lay down your arms. Raise songs of prayer in their stead. Prayer for His Majesty King Rabenastre, ever merciful, a man devoted wholly to peace. Prayer, too, for the noble Princess Ashe, who, wrought with grief at her kingdom's defeat, has taken her own life. Know also that Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg, for incitement of sedition and the assassination of His Royal Majesty King Rabenastre, has been found guilty of high treason and put to his death. They who at this late hour choose still the sword are cut of the same cloth as the captain. Traitors who would lead Dalmasca to her ruin. Dalmasca's surrender without terms was soon to follow.
Welcome back, my recusants, to another episode of Final Fantasy XII. So we are picking up just after that cutscene with the death of Rex and the conquering of Rabenastre. More specifically Dalmasca, and now we're in the capital city, Rabenastre, well, more specifically the sewers, with Vaan, the hunter of rats.
Hurry it up or they'll find us.
Has to be the worst idea of a way to spend an afternoon that I could ever conceive. But it's starting off like any typical RPG in the fact that we are literally hunting rats with our main character Vaan, who might have a similar hairstyle to Rex earlier on. But he is a thief, so he has the steal skill, and this will be very good in really any point in the game. Just to be able to get those particular little bits of items for selling, and you basically sell items to gain gil in order to buy things, obviously. But also, if you sell a certain number of things, you can then unlock special items in the bazaar. And the bazaar is like a special section of the shop that basically if you sell them certain items, you will get special offers to buy a collection of things in the shop. But just beat down the rats and we get to go up out of the smelly sewers and into the city proper of Rabenastre.
Wow, Vaan, you got him all yourself? Guess I know who to call when something big comes along.
Hey, it's good practice for the desert. I'm ready for anything now. That's enough for today. You should get back to Miguel's place, Kites. Aren't you running errands for him?
Oops, totally forgot. You should come, Vaan. He's busy today. Might have some work for you to do too.
We basically pick up the story with the new son of the Emperor. Well, not a new son, but like the son of the now Emperor of Rabenastre. Coming to visit the town to basically establish ties with their now conquered kingdom. After leaving the sewers, we're now into the royal city of Rabenastre. Very eclectic population. Very metropolitan. And here we have Vaan chewing on a who knows what kind of a fruit that is. But
you haven't paid, and I... What?
it's obvious that the Imperials are just exerting cruel amounts of power over the citizens.
We don't want trouble today.
And, you know, when it comes to the different classes, I felt like I had to keep at least some connection to the characters as they are in lore of the story. And so with that, Vaan stealing from the Empire and like his very much opening arc being of thievery and like that roguish nature, I picked his character when we get to the different classes based on like that kind of archetype, you know, swift attacks, daggers, you know, that kind of an idea. And now we get introduced to an old childhood friend of Vaan, Penello.
Hey, that's mine.
What do you mean, yours? You've been stealing again. What happens if they catch you?
So we can very much see that
you to be
Vaan
there
is
for
like
us,
the
Vaan.
lovable rogue,
You're no good to anyone
and
if you're locked
Penello
away in a
is just the
dungeon.
more
Oh, what? Am I
level-headed,
the leader now?
serious companion.
We're orphans. The first thing you learn is you gotta watch out for yourself. Come on, Penello. You know it as well as I do. Hey, you give that back. What do you think you're doing?
I thought that this money was the people of Dalmasca's property. The Imperials stole it from us, so it's only fair that we take it back. It's our duty as Dalmascans. Well, wasn't that what you said?
Yeah, but I never said anything about taking it back from me.
This is for that bread you took the other day. Just because I help Miguelo out every now and then, it doesn't mean that you get to eat for free too, you know.
I know that. You think I like living like this?
And like, I think this is very much, you know, I think some people like want to call Penello a wet blanket, but it's sort of like, yes, she was also born into this like terrible situation, being an orphan,
One
like
of these
on the
days,
streets and everything else.
I'll fly
But
an
yet
airship
she's
of my own.
like, no, like she's gonna get a
Like a
job,
Skype.
work hard,
Free to go
and like
wherever.
try and keep her friend on the straight and narrow, you know? But as we're going to discover
Well,
a bit
be
later
careful.
on, we're
You'll
able
never fly
to
anything if you're
actually
rotting
go
in a
on
dungeon.
mercenary hunts for monsters. So that's going to be
Miguelo
a
had
nice
some errands
little
that need doing.
bit
He wanted
of
you to drop by his place.
money
It
getting.
might be a good idea to lend a hand.
But just as I was saying earlier, when you see Vaan like looking up at that airship, it's like, that's the one kind of defining, well, some people like to argue that's his only defining thing as a character. But I feel like, one, his entire family has been like ruined by the Empire. His brother Rex was like killed in, you know, service to the dying, you know, kingdom, and being betrayed by Bosch and things like that. So like, he has plenty of reasons to like be in the plot. So, and also like, we need a kind of foil of like the kind of everyday man, because you've heard even from just the different cutscenes and, you know, history
Penello said you needed something.
readings just at the start of this episode, they don't mince words, they just talk directly about the state of the world as it is. And so if other characters of more kind of high station were the main character, they'd be using language that's really like convoluted and like, you know, at a level where we need someone on like a basic level to have all this stuff explained to us in like a more realistic way, you know?
So you want me to go to the tavern
But
and pick him up?
we're going to go over to the Sand Sea and collect some food for Miguelo here. He's putting together food for the Imperial banquet.
What you to do is run over to the Sand Sea and fetch Kites back. What do you say?
Sounds wild.
But as we're going to discover, Kites is over in the Sand Sea. We're going to go there. We're going to then go for a, you know, bounty hunting hunt in the desert. We're going to get to pick our class. So like, you know, things are going to kind of pick up now, which would be great. So just make your way down. But yeah, again, I just feel like Vaan is a perfectly fine character to like be constantly with, because there's a legitimate, understandable reason why he would need certain things explained to him, because it's like he was an orphan boy from the streets. And, you know, if Aladdin's good enough to be a main character, then I think so is Vaan. You know? But unfortunately, even though the shops are open, they're like not selling anything yet, which is a bit of a pain. But the Sand Sea is going to be our hub in Rabenastre for like collecting hunts and the like. So we get to see Kites here, and he basically explains what hunts are.
Look,
So I'll
Vaan,
just leave
look.
that
This is
cutscene
it.
explain
This
that.
is why Miguelo's courier didn't get here on time.
A creature spotted in the ester sand. What is that thing?
Ah, Vaan. Miguelo sent you too, did he? He's a busy man these days, that Miguelo, if I dare say so myself. I don't envy him the work, though. Not a bit. Quite the affair throwing a banquet to welcome the Imperials, eh?
Welcoming? We should be... whatever. Say, Tomaj, what's this?
Nah, don't remind me. Got some nastiness out there in the ester sand. What's stopping our couriers? And that means shortages all around. Thought I'd put up a bill, offer a reward to anyone who can knock that nasty back in its place.
Now that's work. Sounds 10 times better than running errands for Miguelo.
That's right. Vaan, you should give it a shot.
And you should be getting back to Miguelo. Now, Kites. He was waiting for you.
Oh, right.
So he basically then gets to explain this is where people post bills, and you can like check back and interact with the board to find different monsters and go hunt them and kill them, and once you do, you can arrive back and get a reward, and they generally can be money or really useful items and things like that. So we are definitely going to be trying to fill out the hunting log as we go along. So our first one is the Rogue Tomat, and it's going to be in our clan primer. And then he gives us this lovely little accessory, which we then need the license to equip. So this is the kind of sphere grid of this game, which is basically the license board. So you pick a class, which will have select skills, well, licenses to learn. And these licenses can range from licenses to wear certain armor, licenses to wield certain weapons, licenses to do certain spells, licenses to wear certain accessories. So, all in all, you need a license to do anything in this game, with a few exceptions that will come up with them when it's the right time. But what's exciting is that we get 12. We have 6 main characters in our party, so they each get 2 jobs. So we are going to get a fun chance to experience all 12 of the different license boards. Now, as you can see here, they've since patched an update that allows us to change our license boards later. Before, this couldn't happen. So it used to be a permanent thing. So people used to get really stressed about like not picking the wrong one. But even though we've less stress about it, I kind of know and have planned out what I want all my different characters to be. So we are going to move Vaan over to a Shikari. So their main weapons is daggers, and as you can see here we have the license board. It has their basic attacks, and then you have like stat ups, you have abilities they can learn, items they're able to use, the shields and armors, their accessories, and other kind of I suppose like stat boosts, like battle lore increases their physical damage, things like that. And then you have like certain things like quickenings and other various bits and pieces, and like rarer weapons and things like that, or more advanced weapons. But, and like, please do not like call me silly in the comments, but like until legitimately when I was playing this game, like I'm just looking at the shape, I realized, oh my god, the boards are in the shape of the different zodiac signs that they are like attributed to. I only figured that out today. I was 2 years old when I learned that, so that was mortifying. So I'm obviously just looking around and seeing the kind of extra little bits and pieces that we can get, just to get a familiar kind of vibe with how it all looks. But, you know, this is what we're going for, and I kind of was trying to plan, okay, like where exactly do I kind of want to go? And in general, like the stat boosts are obviously just that, a lovely boost to get early, because obviously as you're leveling, you know, your stats get gradually better, but obviously like 350 HP when you only have like 200 base HP is a massive bonus, rather than getting an extra 300 when you've 2000 or something like that. So but having said that, if you go too far into that, you won't be able to equip certain licenses for your you know, your weapons and armor. So it's like a balancing act. It is completely a balancing act, trying to get all those correct. And now that I have the 6 points from those rats, I can now learn the Libra skill, and you know, that's kind of what happens. You buy one and then all the adjacent squares are then available for purchase. And then we're able to go in and equip our new accessory in our accessory slot. And now that we have the right of transit, we're able to then basically go and say, hey, we're like allowed leave because we have to go check something out in the desert. And then we're able to hunt our mark. And that's basically going to be our next episode, guys. So again, thank you so much for, I suppose, tuning in. I hope to see this kind of receive the same love and attention that 10.2 has gotten. We are going back like to 10.2 eventually. I'm just having the worst luck getting the chocobos to spawn to basically finish one of the side quests, which requires like level 5 chocobos, but I can't even start leveling my chocobos in 10.2 because I just can't find ones that work. So that's just why that's been a little bit delayed. But I hope 12 can kind of sate your appetite till then. But yeah, let me know what you think of Vaughn's current license board. Do you guys pick different combos? Would you give him a different class starting off? And where do you think the best kind of way to level him is? Do you think get his better weapons and armor first, or get the stats first, or like what are we thinking to level him there? I don't mind being a bit more of a collaborative situation, but I'm going to just get through this cutscene and then save the game. So that's going to be my gameplay and video for today, guys. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.
The transit right here. You see? Signed, Miguelo. I just hate to see the consul upset because his food wasn't ready on time. And I sure hate to see him take it out on you.
The Lord Consul is a great man, and not one to take offence in such trifling matters. Move along, boy. Wouldn't do to keep the Consul waiting. Right, gates are closed after this.